Welcome back to ESBR Boxing's YouTube channel. It's me, Niall, delighted as always to be joined by Greg, and we're here reacting to what we've just seen from Las Vegas, Nevada, as Stephen Fulton has defeated Brandon Figueroa in the rematch of their 2021 contest to win the WBC World Featherweight title and become a two-weight world champion, of course, in the rematch of their epic fight a few years ago. So yeah, let's jump straight into this one. Greg, as always, it's a pleasure. What did you think of that one? The crowd didn't like it. You know, we could hear the boos from the Vegas crowd, which I thought was a little bit unfair. But what was your thoughts on that?
I think, Niall, well, first of all, it's great to be joined by you. Niall, I think it's one of those ones where when someone's really, really good, the crowd don't like it because it's not that 50-50. It's not that engaging contest that everyone wants. So, yeah, Fulton, he was really, really good, wasn't he? So I think the crowd wanted it to catch fire, but it was never going. He was just too good on the night, Niall. So yeah, right man won. Uneventful, but that's that's Fulton's strength. And if you've got a fighter or you've got a fighter you really like, that's the way you want them to win. But if you bought a ticket there tonight, not so much, but credit where it's due.
Yeah, absolutely. Credit where it's due. I mean, you know, a lot of people kind of wrote Fulton off coming into this one after, the Inoue fight. No shame in that, but he came back against Carlos Castro then, and he looked very underwhelming. You know, a lot of people thought he was fortunate to get the decision there. He got hurt, and that it looked like his punch resistance was gone, and a lot of people picked Brandon Figueroa to beat him in this one. So, absolutely credit where it's due. He looked sharp. You know, he was landing them all right, catching shots. You know, it was pretty frustrating performance from Figueroa, if I say so myself. He just he doesn't use the assets that he has to his strengths, does he? As in terms of his size and his reach. You know, would you agree with that?
I would. Now he's your typical Mexican fighter. He likes to get inside. He likes to throw shots. Um, there's certain things he could have done against Fulton tonight, but he didn't do them. So Fulton, Niall, it's an awkward one because Fulton he was coming off of the stoppage loss against Inouye. He had the fight against Castro where he didn't look great, get dropped, but it's almost like he had that fear factor back tonight. And when you've got that fear factor, it makes you perform better. And I think that Figueroa went into the fight tonight thinking, right, okay, you've got one over on me. Things have changed. It's now my time. But I don't think he thought logically about it. So yeah, credit where it's due to Fulton. I think he got his game plan spot on, and yeah, the best man won.
Absolutely, yeah, I agree. He has that fear factor back, as you said. He had that spark, that swagger about him tonight, up close and at that range, which is great to see because he's a quality fighter on his day. You know, he really is. So, the question is now, what's next? You know, it has to be unifications, you'd imagine, and it's a very interesting division now at 126. You've got the other champions, you've got Espinoza, you've got Angelo Leo, and you've got, of course, the UK's Nick Ball. What would you like to see Fulton in my next? Personally, in my opinion, Nick Ball is a fascinating stylistic clash. It really is. Real bull versus matador clash, that one. But what would you like to see next for Fulton?
Niall, it's funny. I actually knew you were going to say that. I knew you would favour Nick Ball. I don't know why I did. I just did. I was like, he's going to say Nick Ball here.
Yeah.
If I'm Nick, well, if I'm Fulton's management team, I think Angelo Leo is probably the most winnable fight. Nick Ball is probably a nightmare. But if we're sitting here as UK fans, that's a dream. Can you imagine watching a Riyadh season or a really good UK card and that's top of the bill with a good few undercard fights? It's a really, really good fight. But I think for the fans, him and Nick Ball, yeah, that's the most exciting one for his management team. I think Angelo Leo is the most winnable. So either of those two fights, for me and Niall, they're good fights.
Yeah, good point there in saying Angelo Leo. No disrespect, quality fighter. Of course, had that win against Lopez, but he probably
Yeah.
is the most winnable fight. Nick Ball, though, yeah, as you said, that's the one for me. Fulton showed tonight he dealt well with the kind of pressure of Figueroa, the relentless pressure. Up close. Nick Ball is going to bring the same pressure, but he's more, of course, more explosive and more powerful, really, than Brandon Figueroa is. So. That's the one for me, but of course you could have Rafael Espinosa as well. I think he was quite an underrated fighter, in my opinion. Another tall, rangy kind of Mexican. Of course, had the two good wins against Robesi Ramirez. So yeah, it's going to be fascinating to see. It really is. What's next for Fulton, and of course, what's next for Brandon Figueroa. Can he come back now? You'd imagine he can, but who's he going to come back against, and can he ever reach world level again? So yeah, it's a real fascinating time at featherweight. It really is. So yeah, that's all we have time for on this one. Just myself and Greg reacting to what we've just seen in Las Vegas, as Stephen Fulton has become a two-time world champion, defeating Brandon Figueroa in a rematch of their 2021 fight to take Brandon Figueroa's WBC World Featherweight crown, and of course set himself up now for some huge unification bouts. Let us know what you think in the comments. What did you make of that performance from both men, Figueroa and Fulton? And of course, what's next for both men, in particular Fulton? These sort of unifications. Who does he beat? Who does he have the best chance of beating? Can he unify at 126? Let us know your thoughts. And as always, please don't forget, like the video if you enjoy our content. Subscribe to the channel at ESBR Boxing and follow us on all social media. Always great content. And yeah, we'd really appreciate it. Gregory, pleasure to talk to you. Speak again and take care.
Thanks, Niall.